I need to catch up on things. June maybe wasn't the month I thought it was going to be. Curved right up. I called for an ambulance. Hello and welcome to my June vlog, where I'm going to catch you up on all the knitting and crochet that I completed throughout June. As I am recording this, it is the first week of June, and I wanted to start this video by giving you my goals for this month because I'm feeling optimistic and think I can achieve some things in June. So I want to share them here, and then we'll see how I progress throughout the kind of 4 weeks of June. Okay, so I am starting off June with 3 projects that I have been working on for quite some time now, that I'm feeling optimistic that I'm going to be finishing within the month of June, which then means that I can move on to other things. So number 1 of the things that I'm currently working on in the first week of June is this wrap top that has been months and months and months in the making. Let me show you. So this is my 3rd attempt at designing and knitting this, but I am coming close to an end, kind of. So it's all on one circular needle, quite hard to see. But I first started by knitting the back, which is like high neck. I do just have a lifesaver yarn in there just in case. And then I started on the front, which is separate, so you're effectively working it like a cardigan. It's knit flat, going back and forth, and each side has this wrap piece, and the aim is for the wrap to continue around the back as well. It's made with fingering weight yarn, knitting for olive cotton merino yarn, knit on 3mm needles, so it is a big time-consuming project, but I wanted this to be like a summer weight layer you could put on cooler evenings or cooler days. And yeah, it's taken me a while, but I'm hoping 3rd time it is working out how I wanted it to be. I'm almost finished with the body. I then want to work on the sleeves, so that's my biggest thing I'm focusing on over the next like 2 weeks maybe. The other ones I have is the main top, which I am wearing now, and as I'm recording this, it's in testing. Just under halfway through testing. I had a 12-week test period for this, so it should be, the test will end mid-July and the pattern will come out just a few days after that. Everything going well so far. I've had some great feedback on it. It has already been tech edited also, so it's just getting a piece of feedback on instruction clarity from the testers and then looking at the final fit. But it's going really well. I'm really happy with the testers. And just seeing how their versions are coming together, the colour choices they've picked. I just love seeing that stuff. But I'm also working on a second version, a sample myself, which is the yarn that I started with when designing this pattern. In the original sample it wasn't quite right, so I frogged the yarn to make it in the final pattern version. I'm at the point on this where I have finished the body and I'm going to be changing for the ribbing. There's quite a bit of ribbing at the bottom of this top. So I'm at that stage now. Again, this is a fingering weight yarn. This is a sock yarn, superwash sock. And so it's on 3.25mm needles. The ribbing is in 3mm needles. So again, it is more of a summery lightweight, but I think for this one, it's a layerable piece. I think in the cooler seasons, you could wear a longer sleeve top underneath and put this over the top. It's reversible, so at the moment I'm wearing on like the V-neck side, but the other side is more of a scoop neck. So that's come along well. Like I say, I've just got the ribbing. Ribbing can be time consuming, especially when you have a few inches of it, but again, very achievable to finish this in the next couple of weeks. And then the last thing I have is socks, which I know you have seen a lot of. To date, I still haven't finally fully landed on a name for these, but I have been calling them the Stash Ripple socks. This is a second version, so the pattern itself is going to have 2 versions, 2 different patterns to follow, but both with this kind of ripple effect. Let me get the other one. Okay, so this was the first sample I made. So it has the ripple effects on the calf and then goes to a solid main colour before changing for the toes. and I think they're so cute, and I was going through my stash looking for fun summery colours, which I think these have worked out well. And then the second version is going to have ripple repeats throughout the whole sock. So I've done one, and I'm now just working on the second one. I'm maybe just over halfway through with the second sock, so again, I'm giving myself a lot to do in the first 2 weeks of June, but I do think it's achievable to finish these, finish my second main. The pattern for this is already written and with a tech editor as I'm recording this, so I'm ahead of the game. I really want to start on a new design. I've been kind of stuck in these for quite a few months now. I want to get going on something else. And back when I was on Gabriella Island, if you watched that video, I started swatching for another project, and this is my swatch. So this is Sandesgan Sunday yarn, held with Knitting for Olive silk mohair. It's very soft and fluffy. What I want to make with this is a cardigan, so this would be more towards the kind of autumn winter pattern design, but I thought I probably need to get a head start on it sooner rather than later for me, because it takes me a while to kind of figure things out. I've done my swatch, so I can start kind of playing around with the design I have in my head, putting it to paper, doing the kind of maths for the stitch counts, the row counts, etc. But I'm really keen to get started on that. And then bonus, if I have it start on another design that I have in mind, which will be something beachy, so you kind of think I should be doing that first, not the cardigan idea, but I just want to do this. So they're my goals for June. Let's see how I get on. Okay, so I did have every intention of doing like weekly updates on my progress throughout June. I started off well, setting up my goals for the month, and then I thought I was going to film every week, check in how I was progressing. That didn't happen. Now, as I'm filming this, it's actually July 1st, and I need to catch up on things. I think I also maybe didn't film because I felt like I didn't have much to say per week, because I was kind of felt like I was doing the same things all the time, and I thought maybe that wouldn't be interesting to check in on week to week, and maybe I just wouldn't have progressed very much. But actually now I'm sitting here and thinking about what I did. I was still like knitting away in the background, even though I wasn't picking up the camera. I progressed a little bit more than I thought, some more than others. Other things haven't gone so well. Things have been finished. So I am going to start with what I did finish, what's gone well, something that hasn't gone well, and then a new design that I started on. I'll start with two of the whips I was working on that you just watched me do at the start of June, the socks and the main top. So socks, I still haven't like fully landed on a name for it, but I keep calling them the Ripple Stash socks, so maybe they are just going to be called the Ripple Stash socks or the Ripple socks. Let me know what you think of that name. I tend to like mostly name my patterns after places around BC, apart from my collar, which I just called the Tide collar because it was like the ocean, which I love and I live near. Maybe the Ripple socks is along that theme too, and it's all fine. I'm probably overthinking it. Anyways, I had these finished already. I had one of these finished. I now have two finished, and I think they're so cute. I love the color combinations on both of them. They're both like different color combinations, like not necessarily, this maybe is more what I imagine for my like color scheme with Wandering Create, but I also love the fun colors of these, and they're super summery, I feel, both of them. And I did say that the pattern had been written and was with a tech editor. It has now been tech edited and is good to go, so I think I am going to open up this pattern for testing. I'm going to put a call out next week. As you're watching this, it will be the 4th of July. I'm publishing this video. I think I'll put the call out on Monday, which is what, the 6th? Battery just died on me as I was chatting there. But yeah, I am going to put a call out for these on Monday, the 6th of July, and that will be in my newsletter. So I always put like pattern test call outs in my newsletter first. So if you really like the look of these and would be keen to test, I would sign up to my newsletter first, and then over the couple of days after that, I will publish it on all the social media platforms and YouTube, but my newsletter first. I will probably run it for 3 to 4 weeks to make these socks. I can't remember what I've done in the past, maybe 4 weeks. I'll do that again. So that means that the pattern would be out around mid-August, so perfect for a quick summer sock or getting ready for fall. They're going to be great stash busters, I think I said before, and there's going to be a lot of customization options for calf length, foot length, etc. So I'm excited to have that done. So that feels like a big goal achieved, to have that pattern ready for testing. And then one of the other ones was the main top. So I was working on the second sample of it with the kind of grey black yarn. I actually, even though I seemed super confident, I just watched back what I said in the first week of June, and I seemed very confident that I would have this one done by the second week of June. That has not been the case. You'll see why as I keep talking. But I am very, very nearly finished. So now I am at the bottom ribbing, but I do have a lot of ribbing for this top. It's 4 inches of ribbing on 3mm needles, so it does take a little while. But I'm nearly there. I've got about 1 inch of ribbing to go. I tried it on, and I think the design I've made is intended to kind of stop above your hips. As another version to show that you can make it longer, I might make the ribbing longer on this one, so it goes just below my hips. So if a lot of my bottoms are high-waisted, but I might make something that's a bit longer, so to show what that would look like. So I may do not 1 inch, maybe 2 or 3 inches more, but I will be playing yarn chicken to some extent with that, because I only bought 2 skeins of yarn. It's definitely enough to make it to the design suggested length. We'll see how I go, but it's super, super nearly finished. I obviously haven't finished it in June, but the pattern for this is coming out on July, let me just check. Yeah, July 17th. So I have still got 17 days to finish it. I'll obviously want to finish it before then, so I can take some photos to coincide with the release of the pattern, so you can see it in the two different colours. Here's the other one, inside out. Kind of works still inside out with the pearls. It wouldn't be totally wild to wear it inside out, but yeah, 2 very different colours, but the same. So I didn't get that done, but it's nearly done. I'm not worried that I won't have it ready before the pattern launches. Again, seeing some good results coming from my testers. That's been super awesome. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. So again, more newsletter promo, but that will be, again, when I release a pattern, I always do a discount code on at least the week of the release, and newsletter subscribers get the best discount. So if you're interested in that, again, my newsletter is the best place to be. I promise I do not over clog your inbox. I only do it when I have something important of mine that I want to share, an update, pattern test, pattern release, video promotion. It's normally really once a month at best, twice a month. So I really don't for your inbox. In fact, I think most of the time it goes to junk, because I use Squarespace, and there seems to be an issue with my newsletters going to junk mailboxes, which is really frustrating. But anyway, that is not for anyone here to care about, just me. So there are 2 of my goals. 1 super done, very happy. 1 nearly done, happy with that too. And the pattern is coming out in July anyway, so that is great. Something else I really realised in June, although it's something that I have been doing this year and didn't really expect, is I have really started to enjoy running. Running is something that I have done on and off throughout my kind of adult life. I go through phases of it where I will run up to a 5k, at most a 10k, but then something will happen, my routine will change, I'll be ill, or I'll just go on holiday for a couple of weeks, and then I've lost the habit, or winter comes and I'm not interested anymore. But this year I was really determined to keep up with it throughout the year, and I started consistently running, maybe, I don't know when, October last year or something. And and I knew that I wanted to run like the Sun Run, which is the like annual 10k in Vancouver. So I was up until then working up to that, and that went well. But then after finishing that 10k in April, I wanted to keep up with the running, and then I decided that because I had kind of been enjoying the consistent running, that I would aim to go further. Previously I have done a 10k, I've done a few 10ks in my time, and thought there's no way I could run more than that. Like I can't imagine what a half marathon is like. But I have like now set myself a little goal to do a half marathon. I haven't actually committed to an official race, but I have just done a training plan myself to get me to do a half marathon by the end of August, and it's going really well so far. Like I feel like, although I've said I've done lots of running in the past, I've like enjoyed it to an extent, but at the moment I feel like I'm properly enjoying it in a way that I haven't before. Like I look forward to the next time that I'm going to run, which that hasn't really happened before. It's always felt like an effort to get out there. Once I'm out there, it's good, but I have to push myself. And I really don't want to lose that. And maybe I will, but at the moment I really don't want to lose it. And I'm enjoying this running and like having a bit of a plan, doing longer distances. And so far, so in June, I got to the furthest distance I've ever run, which is 15 kilometers. And it was fine. Like I'm going at a slow pace, like I'm not breaking any records, but I've just been really enjoying it. And I think actually because I'm now trying to run 3 times a week to like build up that distance, that is taking up a lot of my time as well, which is maybe why I have been a bit less present with filming. Social media has really gone down the pan the last month or so. Again, that had been something I was doing quite well at, like posting consistently, and then I've just dropped it again. Social media is really up and down for me though. Like I sort of like it. I like posting, I like making the content sometimes it feels like too much. I haven't quite found my balance with it yet, and I'm growing on there like everywhere, but slowly. I do prefer YouTube in that sense. It feels a bit more community. And I prefer making the longer form videos to the short form, I think. Anyway, I'm going off track. All of that to say, I just wanted to share with you my new hobby for now, and I'm pleased with that, but that has probably been one of the contributing factors to why I haven't been picking up the camera every week, because I've just been like running and feeling tired, but then like doing my knitting in between that, going to work. And then something else that happened this month, although it has like literally just happened a few days ago, we had planned to go away for a weekend with a couple of friends of ours to Tsleil-Waututh Island, which is another island in BC. If you've been following me, you know we quite often will go to a little like weekend away on one of the islands in BC. I love doing that. And we actually booked this cabin on Tsleil-Waututh on Boxing Day, so like 6 months ago. And we've all been looking forward to it for ages, and the weekend just gone, we went. And we got there on the Friday. Cabin that we'd booked was gorgeous, like log cabin, right by the water, like stunning crystal clear blue water. It was lovely, looking forward to the weekend. But then, in the early hours of Saturday morning, like around 1 a.m, James wakes up, my partner, and he is in excruciating pain. He is vomiting, he has a fever, like don't know where this has come from. It was quite scary, and so I made the decision that we need medical attention. So I called for an ambulance, which is the first time I've ever had to do that, and I wasn't sure how it was going to be because we were on an island, and although Tsleil-Waututh Island, it's I think about, I don't know, 200 kilometers from Vancouver. What's that, like 125 miles or something? But you have to get 3 ferries from Vancouver to get there, so it is a long way away. And from the like last ferry you get from the mainland to Vancouver is only like 40 minutes, but it's obviously not running at 1 a.m. So I wasn't sure what it was going to look like, but it was a very smooth process. The paramedics came, they assessed him, said he needed to go to hospital, and so off we went. The ambulance took us to the dock, went on a water taxi, another ambulance to the hospital. it turns out he has kidney stones, so he is going to be all good. He's just got to like see this through, and I now understand kidney stones are like excruciating pain as they're like moving. So that was a bit of a stressful moment when we didn't know what was going on, and just seeing him in all that pain, it wasn't great at all. But hopefully he now, it's just a case of waiting and he'll be all good. But yeah, that did mean we didn't get to see much of Tsleil-Waututh Island in the end, but that's all good because that's always going to be there and we can go back anytime. The main thing is that James was seen to and he is all good. But yeah, that was kind of how our June rounded out. So yeah, didn't exactly go to plan, but that's fine. And thank God for like medical health services. And then talking of things not going to plan, I will show you that other whip that I was working on, the wrap top. Okay, so again, having like looked back at what I said at the start of June, I was feeling pretty confident about this. I thought, third time attempting to make this design that I've really wanted to design for like a year now. I thought I had it down this time and I finished it. But then when I bound it off and I washed and blocked it, it turns out no. Let me show you what's going on. Okay, so here it is. So from here it may look all good. Don't know how much you can see on the camera, but I'll just lay it flat so you can kind of see what the problem is if you can't see already. Yeah, so this was a wrap top, so obviously it's going to have wrap sections, and what I wanted it to do was go all the way around, have the wrap section go and meet in the back to tie, which technically it is the right length for it, but look at what has happened. It has just curved right up like this. And I mean, I guess I know why that has happened, because I have been like increasing, and at one point here I was doing like 2 stitches a row, every other row increase to get enough like distance. I appreciate that that made it round out and curve, but I thought it would be resolved by the time I did this like wrap piece, where I just like cast on the stitches that I needed to get this strap done, but it is just going straight up for both sides. So yeah, so I kind of know why that's happened. I guess the like adding the stitches has made it tight, which has like pulled it, and I've started trying to research what I can do to counteract that, and I haven't found a solid answer yet. I am wondering if I need to go bottom up, if that would be better. If I was to go bottom up and decrease stitches, would that be better than top down adding stitches? Would taking them away be better? And then I think maybe I could do a better job if I crochet it, which again, that's just going to be a different craft. Yeah, anyone know? If you've got any thoughts or advice or tips, put them in the comments below, because I would love to know, because I'm still, even though this has been 3 times now where it hasn't worked out, I'm still really wanting to put this together. Let me kind of put it on so you can maybe see what I'm thinking. Okay, so it would go on like so. I think I'm happy with like the fit up here. It's just gone wrong here. And you'd have the 2 pieces and they would go around and tie at the back. I know it's looking so bad, but you'd have it and it wouldn't be all flappy like it is now, and it would be like this, but it wouldn't be floppy. But then that you could also have it in the reverse, so you could wear it this way also, and then tie it. But obviously right now it looks, because of this. But you see the vision? I hope you do. I wanted it to be like another versatile design that you can, you know, I always think, because we have travelled a lot in the past, I like having that kind of capsule wardrobe, like versatile clothing that you can have different ways. You can have like different ways of wearing things, like the main top with the 2 different necklines. But yeah, maybe I'm not cut out for it, maybe it's just not possible. So yeah, if anyone is watching that is an expert knitter, designer, pattern designer, whatever, I'd love any tips that you may have. I'm going to continue doing my own research to figure it out, because I just really want it to work. Maybe it's not possible and I have to give it up, but I feel like just seeing this section, I've still got the lifeline in, I don't think that's needed anymore, but I just want it to come together. So yeah, that is a little bit of a disaster for the month. I mean, technically I finished knitting it, it just has not worked out at all. And if I'm honest, I kind of knew that curve was happening. I just thought / hoped I would counteract it when I added the straps in, because they were not going to be like increased, they were just going to be flat. But it looks like the opposite, because they just went straight up. And I think because it was all on one on circular needles, it was quite hard to tell the curve. And I think I just kind of buried my head in the sand of like, no, it's gonna be fine, just keep going. And it wasn't the case. But yeah, keep following me to see how this journey pans out, if I ever actually get to do it. And I will be so happy if I can figure that out one day. I'm also just so aware that I'm not doing any kind of crochet design at the moment. I'm wearing the Guest Town top, which is a crochet top I released a few years ago. It tends to get very popular in the summer. I love it in the summer as well. Just throwing on over a little crop top like this, over your swimwear, over a long sleeve top if you wanted, over a dress. I think it's great. Another like layering look. And I have every intention of continuing to make crochet designs. So one thing I have been playing around with in June was trying to come up with a crochet version of the main top, which I think is possible, but I've just been playing around with different stitches. So here's like one swatch example I have, but just trying to get like that rib look. Don't know how well the camera is picking this up. So I'm playing around with that, but not anything set yet. But I'm kind of got that on my radar, because I think that would be fun to have a crochet and a knit version. And then the new design I've been working on is not one that I mentioned at all in that first part of the video. It is, I've started working on, like, you know how like this year, maybe a bit last year, the vests were all in, like with the cute ties or the buttons. I decided that I was going to make one of those myself, and so I have not worked on the cardigan with the Sandiscan yarn that I showed you the swatch of. Yeah, I sometimes just get an idea and just want to get on with that, and I will get to that at some point. So again, this is knitted, but this is where I'm at. So I started doing the front, had the back, and now I've joined it all together, and we'll start just working down the body. It's all scrunched up on the needles, but this is it. So the stitch pattern is quite simple stitch pattern with some purl rows, and I was inspired to do that by this cushion cover that I knit. When was it? It was in one of my videos, but maybe 1 to 2 years ago. Just using yarn I had in my stash. It was part of my like yarn stash busting, and it was just simple. I guess I'd seen like a cushion cover like it in a store or something, and I just sort of winged the design. But every time I look at it, I really like it, even though it's super simple. I think simple can be good sometimes. The back is crochet. God, this cushion is looking so flat. It's like a feather one that came with our couch, but it's got really squashed. But yeah, so my inspiration was that, and then I've put it to this vest. And and this is fingering weight sock yarn. It is, I got it at the Spinnacle Yarn Cafe, and one of those owners is the dyer. It's the Dandy Dough. I bought 2 skeins, should be enough. And it is Dandy Sock, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this colourway is called Shore Moss, so more ocean theme. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell at the moment because it definitely is going to benefit a wash and block to see how this is coming out. It's suddenly gone really dark. But yeah, we'll go with this. It hasn't taken me too long to get this far. So yeah, we'll carry on. I think I am going to do the ties. I think that's a real cute look. And I'm debating whether, I think I'll do an I-cord edging around the whole thing when I finish, just because I seem to love the look of an I-cord edging. I think it kind of neatens, like it adds like the finishing touch. And I'm currently like mulling over whether I want to do a contrast colour, like a light pink or a white or something, or whether I just do the same yarn. But yeah, what do you think of this? I'm kind of winging it at the moment, but I could turn it into a pattern if people like the look of it, or plus if it goes well. Yeah, so that was the like random thing that I've been working on, so sorry if that is annoying to see like my plan for the month and then I've kind of gone slightly off course, but that's just what I wanted to do. So I think looking back, June maybe wasn't the month I thought it was going to be, but I did make some really good progress. I have my sock pattern that has been written and tech edited and is ready for testing. I have the main top that is, my sample's nearly finished, plus the pattern is going to be ready to go in a couple of weeks. And then I have discovered that I like running properly, and I have a new design that I am really excited about. But hopefully July is maybe going to be a little bit more consistent and maybe a little less drama, fingers crossed. But yeah, thank you for watching my June vlog. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you would like to see more from me. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter if you're interested in either testing my ripple sock pattern or interested in a good pattern discount when I release the main top. And I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Have a great weekend.